Welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking fast, talking furious, talking one villainous scene, talking about the best villain so far in any Fast and Furious movie. Nando V Movies has done it again and arranged for a set of established content creators to release a coordinated set of videos on their favorite villains in anticipation of the release of Suicide Squad. And just like the original One Marvelous Scene, Nando invited others to make their own One Villainous Scene videos to be added to the playlist. So here goes mine, the best villain in any Fast and Furious movie. First of all, I'm always drawn toward Fast 5 because that's my favorite. But in this case, I can't indulge that. The best villain is definitely not Reyes from Fast 5. He isn't much of a villain at all. He's kind of trying to stop our heroes, but not really. He's mostly passive. He just wants to protect his money. The closest thing to a villain in Fast 5 is Hobbs, and he worked well enough as a counterweight to Dom, but not as a true villain. But what about the rest of the movies? I love Fast 1, but the villain there is the dual villainy of Brian and Dom. There is no real villain. Johnny Tran isn't active enough. Fast 2 has a villain for sure. Tokyo Drift? Check. Fast 4 has Braga? Check. Fast 6 has Owen Shaw? Definite villain. In Furious 7, Deckard Shaw counts, but barely. He's more like a recurring inconvenience for our team. Fast 8? Check. We have Cypher. Fast 9? For sure. John Cena checks the box. So which one is it? It's gotta be Owen Shaw from Fast 6. But why? Well, I've covered this before. It's because he is a mirror of Dom in so many ways. The detail, the control, the precision, it's all in such stark contrast to the way Dom does everything, for whom it's all by feel, by emotion. But there's more to it. Owen Shaw actually challenges Dom, challenges his entire way of leadership, his entire set of beliefs. Owen Shaw has arguably the most central member of Dom's family, Letty, on his team. And we don't know it until the end, but he also has the other most central member of Dom's family, Mia, held hostage as insurance. This is the ultimate challenge for Dom, attacking his very heart. And Shaw does this on purpose. The screenplay tells us this straight up, very on the nose.
This code you live by, it's the very reason why you weren't even in the game.
But that makes for a pretty short video. So let's get a little more objective on what a good villain is. Let's look at The Dark Knight again. That's a good one. It's hard to talk about the villain in The Dark Knight without referencing Lessons from the Screenplays video on the topic. So I'll do that. According to that video, the Joker is a great villain for several reasons. He attacks Batman's greatest weakness, he pressures the protagonist into difficult choices, and he competes for the same goal as the protagonist. The video is of course citing to these works. And in the Fast franchise, we have a villain that checks these boxes in Owen Shaw. Shaw attacks Dom's greatest weakness, his loyalty to family. Shaw forces Dom into difficult situations and choices by having Letty on his team, and later by having kidnapped Mia. Shaw is after the same goal as Dom. Superficially, they are after the same element to the Doomsday Weapon, but they are also after the goal of converting Letty to their way, to their own style. Shaw attacking Dom's greatest weakness is the most obvious. Shaw basically says it out loud in this scene right here, so check that box.
Your code is about family, and that's great in the holidays, but it makes you predictable.
Later in the movie, we find out just how far Shaw has gone to exploit this weakness when we find out he has kidnapped Mia. Dom is put under immense pressure by Shaw's involvement of Letty, which, according to the Braga exposition scene, was purposefully orchestrated by Shaw. Dom's decision to join up with Hobbs is due to Letty's involvement, and is a tough decision that leads him to seek counsel with Brian. Elena and Mia both encourage Dom as well. Dom is pressured during the job as he wrestles with Letty's involvement after the chase. Letty shoots Dom, and shows Dom and the audience that she isn't what they thought she was. Dom's decision to go forward to continue seeking Letty is another tough choice. And in the first finale, the tank chase scene, Dom is forced into risking his life and the mission to save Letty. And in the second ending, he is again forced to risk the entire mission and the entire team's pardons to save Mia. And the third element, competing for the same goal as the protagonist. This one isn't made explicit, but it's there. Both Dom and Shaw are competing for Letty. Shaw wants control over everything. In Letty, he senses a great asset, but one that, unlike the other members of his team, he can't seem to fully control. He wants that control more than anything. Dom, of course, wants Letty because they have been together since adolescence. This makes the stakes personal for Dom. No one cares about the Doomsday Weapon by the end of Fast 6. By that time, we only care about whether Letty will be back in the team, and soon after, whether they will save Mia. This is what the writer should want its villain to do to the audience, to make them forget about the ins and outs of the plot because of the characters and their interactions. Owen Shaw does this in Fast 6. My case study is this scene right here. It's the entire movie in my opinion. You have the Letty and Dom race intro to the scene, the back and forth between Dom and Letty, the back and forth between Dom and Shaw, but then you have Shaw's guy put the red dot on Dom, because of course Shaw brought a guy to snipe Dom and take him out. That's what Shaw does. He covers every angle, every eventuality. Shaw probably recruited this guy specifically for his shooting ability. Notice later, this sharpshooter is the guy whose job it is to get captured as part of the ruse, because there is no need for a sharpshooter when you're terrassing down the highway in a tank. Then there is Dom. out there completely exposed because he literally chased tail to get there. A literal car race with his estranged wife. But what happens? Hobbs is there with his own red dot, saving Dom. Even Hobbs being there highlights the difference between Dom and Shaw and how well put together a villain Shaw is. Why is Shaw's guy there? Because he was specifically recruited to be there with that red dot. Why is Hobbs there? Because he cares about Dom and wants him to be alright. Yes, of course Hobbs needs Dom to complete the job and all, but it's clear Hobbs is looking after Dom here, not the job. Want the proof that Hobbs cares? Look at the Mia kidnap reveal scene prior to the runway action scene. Hobbs stands up for Dom, agreeing to simply let the chip go. To help save Mia, Hobbs says, forget the job. In the heat of it, it's all about family and relationships, even for Hobbs. And of course I've talked about this too, but look at who ends up as Hobbs' sidekick at the end of Fast 6. That's right, it's back to Elena, the one Hobbs chose for her character. And finally, for a little bonus, there is a seed of something in the tank chase scene, and it has always bothered me that they didn't develop it. Shaw goes off in the tank chase scene, driving over everything and everyone, causing chaos, going off script, and pissing off Letty. Why? Shaw is so controlled. Is it possible that Dom and his way of doing things has truly and completely gotten under Shaw's skin? I think so. It's the only explanation for Shaw's suddenly uncharacteristic behavior, but alas, they did nothing with it. This could have been the beginnings of the next chapter of Shaw as a villain in the franchise, a multi-movie rivalry between these two, where each one compromises their stated values to get the upper hand, but ultimately both come back to their roots, and for Shaw that leads to defeat, for Dom that leads to success. But we all know that's not what happened. So there you go. Owen Shaw as a villain was great, the best in any Fast franchise movie, and could have been the character that defined the franchise for a whole trilogy of movies. But they wasted it for purposes of bringing in a bigger star to play the next villain. Too bad. If you liked this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Keep it fast, keep it furious.
Drugs, guns, money, women.